What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. So today, I want to have a little bit of a discussion, something I've been thinking about for a long time, and I figured you guys would want to comment on this. Today's topic is where I think they went wrong with the Toyota Tundra as far as the consumers go and potential buyers. Now, there was a time when people loved the Toyota Tundra. In 2007, or at least the 2007 model year, the Toyota Tundra went from something that people used to call just a little bit bigger of a Tacoma to an actual half-ton pickup truck. And in 2007, the Toyota Tundra sold its most units it ever has at just over 196,000. So there was a time where everybody really did like the Tundra as far as journalists, reviewers, and consumers. The Tundra was pretty hot at that time. Now, as the years went on, there wasn't a major update for a long time. And we were coming up to the year 2014. And 2014 is where I think everything went a little bit wrong for the Tundra. They were in a position where they could have done not even massive changes, but just a little bit more than they did. Overall, it was pretty much a refresh. It got a new body, a little bit more of a muscular look to it on the outside, but it was the same drivetrain, it was the same cabs. They added a couple different trim packages along the way, which I really like, the 1794 and everything. But overall, it was the same motor. They didn't really do anything with that whatsoever. And I think that's the point where they went a little bit wrong. Since, the Tundra came out, they were always talking about fuel mileage, MPG not being great. That was their opportunity to maybe keep the 5.7 and give a different transmission, something to get maybe different tuning, something to get a little more out of that motor to help the MPG and kind of bring the Tundra up. Also, in the 07, when the 07 Tundra came out, the full-size Tundra, there was a massive ad campaign for it. If you remember, in the first couple of years, you always saw those commercials where they were comparing things from other trucks. You remember that one commercial where the Tundra was towing a trailer up that spiral flaming mountain thing they had in the middle of the desert? There was always those great commercials for the Tundra back in the day. It towed the space shuttle in one of the commercials. But I feel like nowadays you just don't see many Toyota Tundra commercials. The only ones that I ever see are localized commercials with the local dealers, or overall with Jan when she's standing there with a Tundra, Tacoma, 4Runner in the background. So the ad campaign is kind of lost as well. But I think it all started in 2014. That was the point. So that 07 Tundra is now 7 years old. That was the point to basically have the next generation right then and there, at least something, change more than they did. Because what happened was the consumers, the reviewers, the journalists all looked at that 2014 Tundra kind of as a fail. Now, personally, I love the Toyota Tundra. You know that. I actually like the way it looks. I don't have a problem with the fuel mileage because I drive to work. Work is very close, no big deal. And I don't mind the 5.7. It's a bulletproof motor. But on public opinion, they probably should have did a little bit more with that 5.7. And now, from 2014 till when we actually get the next generation Tundra, which will be 2022, it's becoming long in the tooth to everyone that you talk to. Now, having a Tundra YouTube channel like I have, I see a lot of comments from a lot of different people. There's still a good amount of people that support the Tundra that is out there today, but there's also a lot of people that just want to see something new. There's Tundra fans and owners that are thinking about going to other brands because it's taking so long for the Tundra to come out. I feel like all of that could have been avoided if 2014 went a little bit differently. Like I said, a different drivetrain. They did a lot cosmetically to the Tundra to make it look good, I think. I actually like the 2014 and up look more than the 07 to 13 look, but that's just me. But it was stuff that they didn't do, with the engine and the transmission. They should have changed a few more things there. And I think you would have a lot more difference in public opinion right now, than all the negativity that is surrounding the Tundra these days. Now, there is something else that doesn't help the sales with the Toyota Tundra to the US, and that is, if you can actually believe it, there are people in this country that will not buy a Toyota Tundra because it's made by a Japanese brand. Even though the Toyota Tundra is made in San Antonio, Texas, it doesn't matter to them. Toyota is a Japanese brand and they will only buy American. a lot of these trucks nowadays, no matter what the brand, are made outside of the US anyway, in Mexico and Canada. Some are overseas as well. But yeah, even though it's made in San Antonio, there are a ton of buyers that won't even consider the Tundra. Even though they've never driven it, they've never really looked at it, they've never sat in one, they just won't consider it. And last but not least, something I hear a lot about is people say things like, well, the Tundra will never get to where it wants to get without getting rid of Mike Sweers, who is the chief engineer for the Tundra. Now, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I don't think a lot of anything is Mike Sweers' fault. You got to remember, he has bosses as well that tell him where he can spend money and what the budget is and everything like that. So I think Mike Sweers is the face of it, but I don't think Mike Sweers is the guy who doesn't want the Tundra to have certain things that we all ask for, like a locking rear diff is a big thing everybody's always said. You know, a bigger bed on the Crewmax. Mike Sweers may go to the people that are his boss and say, no, don't do that. The American consumers don't want that. The problem is also, I think, as a Japanese company, it does not understand the love Americans have for large pickup trucks. So you're kind of dealing with that as well. I think that comes into play big time. So there's a lot of things that are in the way of the Toyota Tundra. I believe the last few years, the Tundra has sold around 118,000 units per year, and you'll get a lot of people on the comments that always say, well, you know, the F-Series is selling 800,000+, and that's fine. You got to remember, as a business, it all depends on what you want out of a specific item. So they may sit down and say, okay, our goal is to sell 100,000 Tundras a year, and if we do that, we've hit our goal. So they sell 118, and they're like, all right, so next goal, let's try to sell 120,000. They're not sitting there saying, we got to sell 800,000, we want to be number one. As much as I would like to tell you Toyota wants to be number one in the half-ton market, they are not stupid. They know that, again, as we talked about, the American buyer loves Ford, loves GMC, loves Ram. I almost said Dodge, loves Ram. So they just want a piece of the market. Of course, they want to sell more units. That's business. You want to sell more. But they also know what they're in for and what they're up against. You got to remember that. You got to think of it not so much as a consumer, but as a business. So for them, if they are happy with 118,000, awesome. But it's all about what they set as their goals for a specific vehicle. So, but yeah, I think it all started, in closing, I think it all started in 2014. That was kind of the year they could have did some updates to the powertrain, and I think it would have kept everyone happy, because what they've been doing with the Tundra the past few years is giving it a little bit of updates here and there. And what I mean by that is we got the, you know, Toyota safety sense on the Tundra. They changed a few of the items like the grille, LED headlights and fog lights. Like, they've done these little updates to keep the Tundra relevant. But if in 2014 they would have did more for the powertrain, I think you would see a little bit different of a public opinion on the truck today. All right, so this was all done because we're going to do a live stream later in the week and talk about this. But for now, comment below the video. Tell me what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you feel like they went wrong with the Tundra in 2014? Or was it another point? Give me all your opinions. Thank you for watching. Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 @gmail.com. You guys have a good day.